Hey, it's Vicky, and today I am going to be kicking off my vlog for Summerween 2024. This is my second time taking part in this readathon. I did it last year and I thought it was a lot of fun, so I definitely decided to take part again this year. So tomorrow technically starts Summerween. Today is the 4th of July. That's why I'm wearing my America heart shirt. But I wanted to film the intro to this vlog today because tomorrow, the first day of the readathon, I am not gonna be home for a chunk of the day. So I'm gonna be up at my lawyer friend's office because I'm gonna be interning with her and then eventually working for her. But I've been kind of trying to go up there. I've been trying to go once a week, but it hasn't been happening because everything that has been going on in my life. I haven't gone up in a few weeks, but just to kind of, I try to go up there once a week to kind of shadow her and just like see what, you know, the job is like and what the needs of the office are like and that sort of thing. So I'm gonna be doing that tomorrow. So I'm not really gonna be home. So I wanted to film this intro now. Anyway, so Summerween, if you didn't know, is a readathon that is hosted by Gabby Reads, and it is a summer readathon, but it's all about Halloween. It's trying to bring Halloween into the summer months, hence the name Summerween. So yeah, it's a week long. It starts on the 5th of July, goes till the 11th, and yeah, I'm gonna share my TBR now so that tomorrow I can just get into reading. So what's going on this week? Like I said, tomorrow I'm gonna be going up, and then I do have school like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. This are the last 3 days of the readathon. So my reading might slow down a little bit towards the end, but I'm gonna try my best to really just read the first few days. And then I also had this other idea, which is totally not bookish related. It's off topic, but I thought it would be kind of a fun thing to do. I got this nail polish. The brand is Olive and June, and I saw it at Target and I thought it was pretty, and it said on there that they guarantee it will last 7 days, and I thought I'm gonna put it to the test. And so I painted my nails today. I can't tell you what color it is, I don't remember, but wow, I'm not a beauty guru. Look at this. But there's my paint job, and I've already kind of botched a couple of them because they were still wet and I was touching stuff, but I'm gonna kind of test it out during the readathon and see how the nail polish holds up, because that's one of the reasons I don't like to paint my nails a lot, is because I feel like it only looks good for like a day and then it chips, and then yeah. So we're gonna see how this nail polish holds up, and if it seems to work well, then maybe I'll get more. But yeah, this one I did 3 coats of the nail polish and then I did a top coat. So I feel like I did it the way I'm supposed to do it, and we'll just see how it goes. Okay, you don't want to hear any more about my nails. Let's talk about the books I'm gonna read. So I didn't want to put too much pressure on myself for this readathon because reading has not been so great for me this year. Going back to school and stuff, and then I had, everything going on with my mom. I just haven't been reading much. So I really wanted to take part in this readathon though. So I did choose 3 books. There's 5 prompts, and the 3 books I chose fulfill the 5 prompts. So that's kind of my goal, is to get the 3 books read. If I read more, that would be great, but if I don't, that's totally fine too. So the first prompt, and I made this cute little page because I got some stickers for the readathon that were made, and they're super cute. I also have a t-shirt, but I'm not gonna wear it until the readathon's happening. So I will be wearing it at some point in this video. But anyways, so here's my page for my planner, and I wrote down all the prompts. And so the first prompt is to read a book in the dark. And for that, I'm reading Blanky on my Kindle by, I want to say it's Keelan Patrick Burke. And this is an author I've heard about and I wanted to try, and I thought that would be a fun one because it's kind of short. It's on the shorter side. I got it on my Kindle for a good price. And the plan is, yeah, read it at night on my Kindle. So like I don't have to have any lights on or anything. But Blanky, I believe, is about a couple that have a baby. And I want to say the baby passes away from, I'm assuming, SIDS or something. And then creepy things start happening, like they're hearing baby cries and stuff, even though the baby's gone. And so I have a feeling it's gonna deal with grief and trauma, but also be creepy. So the next prompt is to read a thriller or horror book. So really any of these 3 books is gonna fulfill that prompt for me, but I specifically decided to go with Middle of the Night by Riley Sager. This is like, you know, my annual tradition, like a lot of people, to read Riley Sager's new book. And so, unfortunately this one, I haven't gotten a lot of positive feedback on this one. I know of one person that gave it 1 star. And then another was like middle of the road about it. So I don't know where I'm gonna fall with this one, but I am intrigued because this one, for the first time, Riley Sager is writing from a male perspective. His main characters have always been female, so this is interesting. And this one is about a guy who, when he was a kid, used to have these kind of camp out sleepovers with one of his neighborhood friends. In the summertime, they did it pretty regularly, and then one night they're sleeping in the tent and this guy wakes up and his friend is gone. He's been taken and they never found him. And now it's like 30 years later, he goes back to his childhood home, starts to stay there, and it brings back memories, and it starts to make him, you know, want to find out what happened to his friend. It sounds like a good thriller for like summer vibes, right? And I'm intrigued by it. I tend to enjoy Riley Sager's books. There have been a couple that didn't really do it for me, but I'm looking forward to reading this one. And then the next one is to read a book with a night sky on the cover. And I don't know if Middle of the Night really fits this prompt, but I'm going for it because, I mean, there's a tree line here and there's kind of a sky. And I mean, middle of the night. That's what I'm going with. Then we have read a book that has 5 words in the title. So for this one, I'm gonna be reading If Something Happens to Me by Alex Finley. And this one I actually just received as a gift from the amazing, beautiful, wonderful BookTube besties. If you don't know who they are, it's Sarah, Amanda, Lindsay, and Krista. They are booktubers I have known on this channel for years, on this platform I should say, for years. I've done some stuff with them over the years. They're a wonderful group of women and they were so kind, and when my mom passed away they sent me like a little care package and it included this book. It also included this very soft, awesome blanket, and a couple other things, but so sweet of them to do that. And when I got this book though, I went, ooh, because I was kind of in the back of my head thinking like, I need to find a book that has 5 words in the title for Summerween. And then this came to me and I'm like, it's perfect. It has 5 words. This is gonna work. And this one has to do with, if I remember right, a guy, I don't know if it's like, he's with his girlfriend in the car, and I want to say they get carjacked or something. He gets taken out of the car, and then his girlfriend disappears in the car. Someone takes her and is never seen again. And then years down the road, he kind of gets a phone call like, hey, we found the car. It was in the bottom of this lake, and inside there was a note. Was it in the car or something like that? And on the note, it says, if something happens to me. And so there goes the mystery. Like, what happened? Why was the girlfriend taken? Who took her? Blah, blah, blah. So it sounds like a pretty cool mystery. I'm looking forward to reading it during Summerween. And then the next prompt is to read a book that takes place in summer. So for that, I am going back to Middle of the Night. So yeah, Middle of the Night is potentially gonna do 3 of the prompts for me, which is awesome. So yeah, those are my reading plans. I've got these 2 plus Blanky, and like I said, if I happen to finish them, I'll start something else. But I'm also thinking I'm gonna approach my reading during the readathon a little differently. I tend to like to have a physical book going, an audio book going, and then my Kindle book. But this past week, I was trying to finish up a book because I wanted to finish it before Summerween started. And so I was listening to the audiobook, but then I was also physically reading it. So it was the only book I was reading at one time. And I think I actually liked that approach. I felt like I got through the book faster because anytime I was listening to an audiobook, it was that one. Anytime I was sitting down to read, I was reading that one. And so I felt like I was able to focus more on that book instead of having 3 different plots and characters and all that going on at once. So I might try that approach with the readathon and read one book at a time, which is unlike me. Normally I have, like I said, like 3 different books going at once. So we're gonna see how that goes. Because my hope is that I will get through the books faster that way. And I can like focus on one book at a time throughout the readathon. I don't know. So we'll see. But anyways, that's the TBR. This is the intro. Summerween 2024. Let's go. I don't know what I'm gonna read first. I'll let you know tomorrow when I check in. We'll see how I'm feeling in the morning, which one I wanna go with. But yeah, I will check in with you guys tomorrow. Hey guys, checking in from day two of Summerween. Yesterday I did not have time to do a check-in because I was working up at my lawyer friend's office for a big chunk of the day, and then I went to another friend's house to just sort of hang out and have dinner. And then I also am dog sitting for one of my neighbors, so I went over there for a little while to let the doggies out, and I'll be doing that for the rest of the week. So it was a busy day, but I did start a book, and I started If Something Happens to Me, and I made it about 100 pages in, and so far I like it. It has multiple POVs, which is definitely keeping the story interesting, and is also raising questions because you don't know yet how they're all connected, because you have Ryan, who is lives in Italy, and he's a law student, but when he was in high school, him and his high school sweetheart, I think her name was Allison. It was either Allison or Amanda. It's an A name. They were like parking somewhere, and the next thing he knows or knew, he wakes up and he's like in a field. The car and his girlfriend are gone and never seen again. So he's in Italy with some law student friends or law school friends, I should say. And he gets a call that Allison's car was found. And there were 2 men inside that were dead, obviously. And they're suspecting foul play. So it kind of like reopens Allison's case. And starts another investigation, which leads us to another POV. Her name is Poppy, and she's a deputy sheriff, and she's kind of doing the police side of things. And then you have this other character, Shane, and that's what's interesting, is so Poppy's in Kansas, but this other character, Shane, is in Pennsylvania. I want to say Philadelphia, and I think he's a mob boss, or he's somehow involved in the mob. And so his like chapter where you first met him was pretty interesting. And so I don't know his connection yet to this whole story, because I'm like, Allison and Ryan and Poppy, that whole story is like in Kansas. But then you have this guy that's in Philadelphia. So yeah, it's interesting so far because you're still trying to piece everything together, but the way that it jumps around keeps it interesting. Because then what else happened? So when they found the car, like I said, there were 2 guys in there that were dead. And they also found this note that said, if something happens to me, and it's written in code. So Poppy is kind of trying to figure out how to decode it and what it's going to say. So yeah, it's interesting. It's a good like mystery book. And I'm enjoying it. So I also started Blanky last night, but I'm not even going to talk about it because I was so tired. I read like 4 pages and fell asleep. So I really have no comment about that one yet. And that's my book I'm going to read in the dark. So I'm not going to read that one again until it gets dark later. So yeah, so the plan for today is I'm going to just be hanging around the house. I'm going to try to get some housework done. And then Austin's aunt is going to pop in and visit because she's in town. So we're going to say hi to her for a little bit, and I'm just going to hopefully get some reading done. I did get stung by a wasp this morning. It's already kind of gone down a bit, which is good. I was just walking on the sidewalk to my neighbors to let the doggies out, and I just got stung stung on the back of my arm. So that was fun. So yeah, that is what's been going on with me. And oh, also, so far, the nail polish is holding up nicely. Not really seeing any chippage, which is good. So far it's holding up. So yeah, I'm gonna do some chores. I'm gonna get some more of this knocked out. Cause how long is this book? This book is about 320 pages. So yeah, that'd be awesome if I could get at least through another 100 pages of this today. Would be awesome. So yeah, I'm gonna get going and do that. And I will check in with you guys when I have more to say. So I was in my neighbor's backyard reading so the dogs could play outside for a while, but now I'm back in my backyard. And I just finished part 1 of this, and right at the end of part 1, there's a pretty big reveal. And it was pretty good. It's a pretty good little, I guess, twist. And it definitely answered one of the questions I had, which was I was trying to connect some of the storylines that are going on. So a big piece has just been answered. And it's pretty good. I was trying to put it together. I had a theory, and I would say I was a little bit there. Like, I was getting there. But no, it was a pretty good twist, I have to say. So now that we kind of have a big question kind of answered, now it's like, where do we go from here? So I'm excited to find out. Welcome to day 3 of Summerween. I'm wearing my shirt today. It's so cute. I absolutely love the logo for this this year. So cute. And I have an update. I did complete my first book for the readathon. I finished If Something Happens to Me by Alex Finley, and I have decided to give this a 3-star rating. I think that the first part, like literally part 1 of the book, was pretty solid. I think it had a nice build up. It was bringing out a lot of questions that you wanted answered, introducing you to a lot of people, and I loved this sort of quick jumps to other POVs. It kind of kept things going. And then at the end of part 1, there was a pretty big reveal / twist, which was pretty good. I was caught off guard by it. I was kind of getting there, but I didn't quite get there. And so when it was revealed, it made a lot of sense. But then kind of after that, the second half of the book, it became very like crime thriller, sort of detective thriller sort of story, which I do like, and I didn't mind, but it also felt like it was rushing and there was just a lot happening. And I was getting characters a little mixed up and trying to keep everything straight. And it was just boom, 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 like a lot thrown at you. So I felt like the whole book is pretty fast paced, but I felt like the second half was a little bit too fast paced, if that makes any sense. But I did enjoy it. I thought it was a good story. It kept me engaged and I enjoyed it. The majority of this book I read on audio, and it was a good audiobook. So yeah, 3 stars, not bad. So that means I'm going to be starting middle of the night, which is an anticipated release for me. And I really hope to finish during this readathon because it's going to fulfill potentially 3 prompts for me. So like I think I said in the intro, initial kind of out of the gate reviews for this aren't great. At least from the people that I watch here on BookTube. But I'm not going to let that deter me because it has happened where people have disliked a book and I liked it. So you never know how it's going to go. So yeah, I'm going to get this one started. And then I, again, haven't made much progress with Blanky because again, I read about 5 pages last night and fell asleep. So I really need to try not to do that today. Tonight when it gets dark, I need to try to read a little more of that so that I get more in before I fall asleep. So yeah, today is Sunday. The plans for today are, you know, do a few things around the house. I got a lot done yesterday, so today it's a little more low-key. I always like to set up my planner for the week ahead because it just helps me know what I'm going to be doing. I'm still watching my neighbor's dogs. Like I said, that's going to be all week long. So I'll be popping in over there to check on them a couple times. And then we are supposed to go to the movies today as a family to go see Inside Out 2. So that should be fun. And then, yeah, I'm just going to try to get started on middle of the night. And yeah, that's pretty much my Sunday. So I will probably pop in when I have started this to give you kind of my initial thoughts. It's day 4 of Summerween, and I'm about to go in for my first Invisalign checkup. So I've already had Invisalign for 8 weeks, which is kind of crazy. So I'm just getting a checkup to see how things are progressing and that I'm on track and all that lovely stuff. But I wanted to do just a quick check-in. So I think the last time I checked in was yesterday, and I told you guys how we were going to see Inside Out 2, and oh my gosh, that movie was so good. It's a movie about emotions, so it shouldn't be a surprise that it got me emotional, but it really did. It's just a great movie about anxiety and how it can affect you, and it's a great movie for kids, but also a great movie for adults. Highly recommend Inside Out 2. It's very good. And then I did start Middle of the Night, and I have to say, and this is probably because I'm like a 90s kid. I grew up in the 90s, and our main character is the same age as me. So the storyline in the past where his friend was taken out of their tent in the backyard while they were camping out, they were 10 years old, and it was 1994. I was 10 years old in 1994. So I'm feeling a little bit of the 90s nostalgia with this book. So I pulled out my 90s bookmark because it's got me feeling the 90s vibes. And then it was funny, Ethan, our main character, mentioned the Downward Spiral by 9 Inch Nails, because that album came out in 1994. And so of course yesterday I started going on a 9 Inch Nails kick, though for me personally, Pretty Hate Machine is the best 9 Inch Nails album, personally. But anyway, so I'm enjoying the nostalgia with this book. But so far, I'm about 50 pages in. Not a ton has really happened. It's going back and forth in time, so you're seeing like the events leading up to the camp out where Billy goes missing, and then you're in present day where Ethan is now 40 years old, and he's back in that neighborhood, and he's seeing the same people that he grew up with, or like their parents, and it's bringing back all this stuff. But other than that, not a ton has happened. So yeah, so far I don't have a whole lot to say about the actual storyline, but I am enjoying the vibes. So I'm just going to be working on this today. I have a few things to do, and tomorrow night I go back to school, so that kind of sucks. But so I want to try to get as much of this read today as I can, because I know like tomorrow, Wednesday, and Thursday I'm not going to have as much time to just read for fun. So yeah. Oh, and then I also started Blanky, and I've started Blanky a couple days ago, but I kept only reading a little bit of it. But now I'm about a quarter through it, because it's a pretty short book, and it's good so far. It's sad because it's about this couple that lost their baby. She died of SIDS, and obviously it has had a huge impact on their marriage and on them. And all that's happened so far is, you know, when the baby died, they cleaned out her bedroom, and so it's just an empty room. But I can't remember the guy's name in that book, but one night he's like watching TV in his living room, and he hears noises in what was once his baby's bedroom, and he goes up there, and there's this baby blanket on the floor, and it was one that they used all the time for her that he had thought they lost, and there it is on the floor. And so kind of weird, right? Kind of creepy. But that's pretty much all that's happened. But I think right now it's more of like a character study about this married couple and how they're grieving the loss of their baby. That's another one I gotta get working on. And then, quick update on my nails. They have officially started chipping. The front two are chipped. So, but I think that's pretty good, because typically when I paint my nails, the chipping starts like the next day. So I feel like this has held up better than other nail polishes, and I really do love the color. So I will probably, even though it didn't last the full 7 days that it said it would, it still lasts longer than other nail polishes. So I'm gonna stick with it and maybe try some other colors, because I like it. So yeah, so I am gonna go into my Invisalign checkup and I will report back to you guys later when I have something to report. Hello guys, it is day 6 of Summerween. Yes, I failed to film a check-in yesterday because it was way too busy for me. I ended up going up to my lawyer friend's office and doing some stuff, and then I had class last night, so I just did not have time to film a check-in. I did read, but didn't have time to sit down and film a check-in. But I am now 240 pages into middle of the night, so I only have about a little over 100 pages left. And it's all right without giving away too much, and that's why I'm hesitant to say this, because I don't want to spoil things for people, but it does give off kind of a Stranger Things vibe in a couple of ways. The story in the past where you're kind of finding out what happened to his friend Billy and how he like disappeared, because there is that sort of friend group kind of vibe in the past story, and there's this sort of mysterious place, is all I'll say, near their neighborhood that sort of also factors in to possibly what happened to Billy. So in that sense, it does sort of give off Stranger Things vibes, which I love Stranger Things. It's one of my top shows. But it's also at the same time, it feels really slow. And honestly, that's how most of Riley Sager's books are for me. I feel like it always takes me forever to read his books. So this one I'm doing the audiobook and physically reading it. Sometimes, not usually simultaneously. It's like if I'm doing something, like if I'm making dinner, I'm listening to the audiobook, and then when I have a chance, I sit down and I will read it physically, because I'm trying to get through it faster for this readathon. But otherwise, it would be probably taking me a lot longer, because it is just a slower moving story. So I don't really have a ton to say, despite being more than halfway through it. There's not a lot of creepy parts. It's fine, I guess. So yeah, and then the same thing for Blanky. I did the same thing last night, started reading, read about 3 pages, fell asleep. So I don't know. I feel like this check-in, there isn't much to report. So my nails are completely just chipped and yucky. So they didn't last 7 days. I think I already talked about that though on Monday, but yeah, I definitely need to take this nail polish off, because I hate when it starts looking like this. Anyways, what's going on today? So tomorrow is the last day of Summerween, and it's also Austin's birthday. So me and the kids are gonna go do some last minute things for his birthday gift, pick up a few things. He always wants a Dairy Queen ice cream cake for his birthday, so we are going to probably pick that up. I don't know if we'll pick it up today or tomorrow, but we're not actually going to like officially celebrate his birthday tomorrow because obviously he works all day, and then in the evening I have school, and Leia also has dance class, so we're gonna celebrate his birthday on Friday. But we still want to have everything ready for him, so we're gonna do that today. And it's kind of just a crappy day. We are basically gonna have rain, and it's gonna be kind of breezy, kind of just yucky like all day today. So it's actually a good day for reading, but I also do have some homework to start, and then I have class tonight also, and Hunter has gymnastics later. So yeah, I got a lot going on, but my goal is to finish this today. I really want to finish this today, and then hopefully tonight or tomorrow I can like knock out Blanky as well, and finish up this readathon. So yeah, I'm gonna go start running my errands, getting my crap together, and hopefully the next time I check in, this book will be completed. So very exciting news. My class for tonight got canceled. So that means I now have an extra 3 hours to hopefully knock this out. So wish me luck. It's been rainy and crappy all day. Perfect reading weather. So I'm hopefully gonna knock this out today. Summerween is officially over, and the past 2 days of the readathon I was terrible at vlogging, and I'm so sorry for that, but I did complete both of the books that I was trying to finish up by the end. So yeah, I finished Middle of the Night by Riley Sager, and this one I think it's landing at about a 3-star for me. It was slow, which I think I said before, most of Riley Sager's books I find to be sort of slow burns. But this one felt more slow than others. There was a twist in here, because there was a couple. The first one I would say was not one I was expecting. And I'm still not sure if it was really like a relevant twist or not. But it was interesting, I guess. And then like the big twist was kind of anticlimactic, I think. I don't know. Actually, there was probably 3 twists in this one. So the third and final twist, the big twist, was anticlimactic, I think. I don't know. And then it had a surprisingly like Hallmark kind of ending, which was weird. But so yeah, it was fine. I think for me, what made this okay for me and why I got a 3 and didn't get like a less than 3 rating was because I really liked the 90s vibes and like the Stranger Things kind of feel to it. It didn't really have any creepy parts. It wasn't, I wouldn't necessarily call it unique, but it was fine. So it was fine. So I got 3 stars. And then I finished Blanky by Keelan Patrick Burke, and this one, whoo, this one got pretty dark, pretty sad. Had some really cool, creepy descriptions and scenes, and I really liked it. The only thing, I think I'm thinking it's about a 4-star. It might have been higher than that. It might have been like a 4.5 or even maybe a 5. But the ending was very quick, and I literally read the last sentence and like turned the page, and that was the end of the book, I guess it's not really a book. It was the end of the novella, and I was like, that's the end? So the ending was a little abrupt, but I think that in terms of, like I said, the horror stuff, the descriptions, it was really good. The way that it tackles grief, I thought was also phenomenal. And it's such a sad topic. But in the end also, there's a little bit of that, like, wait a minute, I was thinking this thing over here, but really this is what like possibly was going on, because it's not necessarily, you're not specifically told like this is what actually happened or this is what was going on, but you thought this was going on. It just makes you go, wait a minute, was that what was going on? Now I'm like rethinking everything. So it was an interesting book. It was thought-provoking, it was well written. I definitely want to read more from that author. And that one is gonna be a 4-star if I didn't say that already. All right, so that is it, guys. That is how Summerween ended. Like I said, the past 2 days were just really busy with schoolwork and life and stuff. And so I got the reading done. I just had nothing to vlog for you. So, but I think all in all, it was a pretty good readathon. I've completed the 3 books that I wanted to complete. I got all of the prompts completed, which is nice. Yeah, so all in all, not bad. So let me know down below if you took part in Summerween, because I would love to know if you did. What prompts did you get done? Did any of you guys read middle of the night? Because I feel like a lot of people were reading this for Summerween. So if you were one of them, let me know. And yeah, I hope that so far you guys are having a wonderful July, and I will talk with you soon. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.